Tatum puts up a three.
Welcome to the Celtics Rewind. I'm JP.
And I am Nat, the GM. What's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all. This is episode 11 of the Celtics Rewind, talking all things Boston Celtics. Still having the best record in the league. I'm JP, the franchise. I got my co-host with me, great content creator, Nat, the GM. What's up,
What's
Nat?
going on? I think everybody's a Celtics fan, right, JP?
Oh, yeah, everybody has to be a Celtics fan since we're the only team that have single-digit losses while everybody's in the double losses. So that's good right there. And like I said, some people are inside Boston Celtic fans and all that. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to make you come out a little bit now. So so we have a very special guest right here. This dude is so dope. I'll follow him on X. He be talking football, be talking basketball, talk about any sport. He's dope as always. And every Thursday night around 8:30 p.m., he has his podcast called the Jones In Podcast. We got Jones from Jones and All Sports. What's up, Jones?
What's going on? Thank you guys for having me, Justin. We've been trying to get this done for a little while. Now you already know what it is. We come to talk some Celtics. It hurts a little bit. It stings a little bit, but I got to come and support you guys. So let's have some fun with it.
It hurts. What?
It should not hurt. It should not hurt. You are a Celtics fan now. You need to take that Heat jersey and dump it in the trash can and put on a Tatum jersey. You are a Celtics fan for tonight.
He's a Lakers fan. That's the thing.
No. Let's correct you. Let's get this right. Hold on. Let's get this right.
Uh-oh.
I am a Knicks fan,
right.
but I am supporting the Lakers because of LeBron James. The Wade jersey is because the Heat jersey is because of Dwayne Wade. That's it. Leaving it like that.
Okay. My apologies. My apologies. We don't need another Spike Lee on the show now, so we don't need that right now.
Yo, you a Knicks fan?
Unfortunately, I'm a Knicks fan. Yes.
You have an unnatural.
It's all good.
You have an unnatural allegiance to losers. All right, Jones.
I like Jalen Brunson, so that's a high right there for the Knicks. That's a high for the Knicks.
He's wrong, man. What was wrong with you?
Not been getting at me ever since last year, so I gotta take it because there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say. I mean, I ain't got no comeback for it. I got nothing. For it. So you got this now. It's all love at the end of the day. I know it's all love, but I'm hoping because as much as I do support the Celtics, I like what they're doing. I think they're a great team, but there is a part of me. There's a small part of me that's like, I hope they fall. I'm just gonna hope they fall because Matt's feeling a little too good over there. I don't like it.
The thing about Celtic fans, we'll always stay quiet. We don't even talk no trash or anything. We'll just let the record speak for itself, and we lead by example.
Unless you're
all
not
Celtic fans right here. But speaking of,
she gonna talk some shit.
What do I say? I don't say anything.
Well, the Celtics have a 2-1 record last week. The first game last week was against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which we all would know that the Oklahoma City Thunder is really legit. Was a pretty good ass kicking, the first 3 quarters and everything. But, in terms of the fourth quarter, the Celtics wildly late and all that. So it was too late for the Celtics to beat the Thunder. Thunder beat the Celtics 127-123. I'm going to you, Jones, first. What did you see in Boston's loss? What takeaways do you have for Boston versus Thunder and how the Celtics lost that game?
So like you said, for the first 3 quarters, it was OKC, the whole first 3 quarters. And then Boston made a run towards the end. But when you look at the whole thing of the game, one thing that Boston usually does when they beat teams and why they beat teams is they dominate in a lot of these areas. One, 3-pointers. They lost the 3-point battle that day to OKC, and I think that was a huge part of them losing. And turnovers. They usually win the turnover battle. They're usually great at that because Boston is a great defensive team, but they just wasn't able to stop SG and Giddy.
Yeah,
and, you know, they got off. And usually when Boston comes to play, even whether it's on the road or at home, they play. I mean, everybody comes to play. It's usually you see a great group effort. In that game, it was only Porzingis, number one, because Porzingis was on fire. And then Tatum got in there here and there, mainly towards the end of the game. And I think Brown was below 20. I think he had like 16 or something like that. I forgot what it was, but he didn't really come to play. White didn't really come to play. A lot of guys didn't really come to play until that fourth quarter. So with a team like OKC, you got to bring it all 4 quarters. You got to give it, because that's a young team that got talent and they got energy and they got they've been around. They've been together for a little while. So that chemistry is getting better and better and better and better. So in a 7-game series, I'd pick Boston to win that series just because of the experience and talent and defense and stuff. But in that game specifically, the Boston just didn't bring it that game, and OKC did. They hit the threes, turnover battle, and they played better. Celtics didn't play their best defensive game like they usually do. So that was my takeaway from that game. But it was an overall great game.
Facts about that. Thank you so much, Jones, for that. Nat, same question. Takeaways and recaps of the Thunder beating the Celtics. What did you see in terms of on the Boston side?
JB went 0 of 8 from 3. When you look at that game, he had 15 points and he went 0 of 8 from 3. If JB makes 3 of them, you know, this is a different game. They would given themselves more than a chance, and it could swing the other way. They lost by 4 points. You know, Drew Holiday, he was 2 of 5 from 3, took 8 shots. He was 2 of 8 total, negative 15. For the whole game. You know, if he scores 3 more points, this gets up to his average, when I think it's about 12 or 13 points. I think he's averaging something like that. If he just gets there, this is a different conversation. It'd be a close game, but the Celtics win. But the main thing is JB missed all 8 of those threes. Unbelievable. Then you start looking at, you know, OKC, 45 points from 3, Boston 37%. Field goals, you know, they were so Boston to me didn't shoot enough. They were 42 of 92. OKC was 48 of 91. Somebody's not shooting enough. You know, you're not getting up enough shots. I don't think that's enough shots in a game for a team like that. You know, I don't think Drew Holiday shoots enough, to be honest with you. And I think they're gonna have to figure that part out. You know, because they're gonna need him. You're going to need Drew Holiday. He's a guy that one of the biggest reasons why they're doing so well this year is a lot has to do with Drew Holiday.
Yep.
Because he never gets too high, he never gets too low. He is always just right. And he settles the offense. He gets guys into the offense. He gets guys in their right spots. He's not doing too much. But there's going to come a time when your point guard, you're going to need him to give you about 15, you know, efficiently, you know, and it's going to have to be Drew Holiday. So this game, he gave you 7. I mean, you know, he gave you 7, 5, and 7, I believe. 7 assists is great, you know, but it needs to be about, in those games, especially when you're going against a West Coast team, high-powered offense like that, solid defensive team too, it needs to be about 15 points. If these things happen, this is a different conversation where, you know, this is a close game that they win. Guys that just didn't perform. JT played very well, actually. He shot damn near 50% from the field. He only took 5 threes that whole game, and he had a good shooting night. He had a double-double. I believe JT had 10 rebounds, which he's a phenomenal rebounder. He had 30, not 10. He had 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. He had a great game. Yeah. He's a hell of a rebounder. And then Kristaps Porzingis was just cooking. He's such a cheat code, on this team. 34, 10, and 2 with 3 blocks. He does everything. And that's what people left out, when they were talking about Kristaps and on other teams. He does everything. You just need to get him on the right team so you can see it and you can showcase it. The Boston Celtics are the right team. I don't mind this loss so much because I can see, and we can all see where they messed up. And you go 0 of 8 from 3 being the number 2. We got to talk about some things, so you only have, 8 shots or 5 shots for Drew Holiday. You need a few more, buddy. You need to get at least 10 shots sometimes. Yeah. Figure out what that is. On the road, I would have hoped he would have taken at least 13 shots, and he didn't. So there's just some things you can go to that you can clearly see they're going to clean up next time. So, they lost by 4. This was a great game and a great test for them. And I think the next time that they meet, I think Boston will win.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was just, one of those games that Boston just been on a win streak, and then you just kind of figured that they was going to lose to some team, and then it happened to be the OKC Thunder, who is a really good team with SGA and Giddey leading the charge, and also J-Dub too as well. But in terms of just, taking it out on people and stuff, so the next game, Boston took it out on the Utah Jazz. I felt bad for, Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington that was in attendance, was trying to play a little jazz song, and Boston just tore up the trombones and the tuba and everything, unfortunately, with Danny Ainge in attendance and Will Hardy. So that was actually kind of sweet just to see the ass kicking that the Utah Jazz got. But 126-97, Boston Celtics just completely dominated and took it out on the Utah Jazz, unfortunately. Jazz, what did you see in this game that Boston did really well?
I think basically like what I said with OKC, they did against the Jazz. All the things that they didn't do right in the OKC game, they got done right. They won the 3-point battle. They won the rebounding. They won the they might have won the turnover battle in that one. I'm not sure if it was that one or another game. But yeah, they, like you said, they took it out. They took that loss from OKC out on the Jazz.
12 turnovers and Utah 18, so they didn't win the turnover battle.
Right. Okay. So it was one of the games that the Celtics lost the turnover battle. I forgot which game that was. But all the areas that they needed to win that area, I mean, in those important areas, they did. All the guys, if I'm not mistaken, they had 5 or 6 guys in double digits in that game. JB and JT both had 30 plus. Like, that's what you need. You need everybody to show up and participate. Everybody's going to get a participation trophy if you actually participate. That's what a good team like the Boston Celtics need on a consistent basis. And that's why they're the best team, because they're doing it on a consistent basis. They're getting these bad teams out of there, like the Jazz. And that's what you're supposed to do when you put a team like this, you make a trade like you did. And now I agree with Nat, especially with Drew Holiday. He's got to get some more shots. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive. Now we're not all the way at half point yet. And he is a little bit older. So maybe he's saving it for the end of the road or the playoffs. But I would definitely agree that he does need to be a little bit more aggressive, especially toward that end of the season, so he can flow into the playoffs and everybody's on point.
Facts right there. Nat, same to you. Takeaways that you've seen Boston in this. I'm just gonna say a landslide right there. There's no other word just to say, but a landslide. What did you see with Boston's victory?
Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about Drew Holiday the last game not getting enough shots. Lo and behold, Drew shot 6 of 8. So this is not the thing. So this is the thing. He shot the same actually. So it's not that he shot more, it was more efficient. So he was 2 of 3 from 3. He was a plus 22. No free throws. He was 6 of 8 from the field, but he got 14.6 and 6 rebounds. So that 14 points, it's like, again, you go back to that other game, 7 more points would have helped a hell of a lot more, than him just having 7. And there you go, 14 points for Drew Holiday. Kristaps Porzingis really didn't need to go off, 19, 5, and 2. Jaylen Brown didn't need to go off, 13, 3, and 5. And then 10 points for White, 7 and 3. And then here we go, JT, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He did everything. 1 block, 1 steal. So he only had 1 turnover as well. And he was a plus 34. So and that's, am I mistaken, or is that the highest? That's the highest on the team, for that game. This was just a game where the Utah Jazz, they are unmatched. You're not going to be able to play with the Boston Celtics. It's just not a good matchup, for Utah. Utah has very good players. Yeah, I do like, Collins. I think he's solid. He's a nice compliment to someone's star. But he's solid. Colin Sexton, he's good. He's one of those guys that on a good team, he's going to be able to get a lot of shots up because of the attention that someone else is getting. He can connect. And then we all know about Lauri Markkanen. The last 2 seasons, he's been a different person. And it goes to show you that it matters where you get drafted and where you end up. A few years later in your career. Yep. You got to get on a team that knows who you are and lets you blossom and shows you things that maybe you did not know. And this is what happened. Lauri Markkanen, you get in Utah, he can just run, he can go. You're thinking that this man is a 5, he's showing you that he's a little bit more of that 3-4, and this is what you have. Wonderful story with Lauri Markkanen. But this team is, they're just unmatched. It's okay. They're not there yet, but this was a game that Boston, I didn't see them losing, they played very well defensively. They played well, but, they were supposed to win. Right. If we're being honest, they just were supposed to take care of business, and that's what they did by 30.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And Colin Cowherd, I hope you're listening to this. The bus is going to be coming for you too as well. His name is Jason Tatum. He is going to be gunning for you, and he's going to prove you wrong this season. I cannot wait to see your face, Colin Cowherd, at the end of the season right here. So shout out Colin Cowherd. So speaking of which, they are traveling to Indiana as they got the Indiana Pacers. And last time the Indiana Pacers beat the Celtics in the in-season tournament. At the same time, the Celtics did put up the season high in points, 155, 157 points against the Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton, unfortunately, though. But Tyrese Halliburton is playing here. So, and the Celtics, even though the turnovers was very, very off, they had like 15, 16 turnovers, but they still pick up the victory 118-101. And JB finding his groove with 30-plus points, along with Jason Tatum, who's been really good as of last week, too, as well. Jones, what did you see in this game for Boston on their side in that victory against the Pacers?
Can't stop JB, man. That boy is something else. He had 8 threes or something like that. I mean, he was going off. Just a continuation of what he's been doing. That Pacers team, like when you match up with a Pacers team like that, you're going to get some high scoring points, and your defense is going to have to be on point. Like when you go up against a team like that, your defense really got to be on point because they got scores, they got Tyler, I can never say his last name, Halliburton, who can get everybody open. He's leading the league in assists. He's doing amazing at that. They don't play no defense, but the Celtics knew what they was getting themselves in because they already had, like you said, they already had dealt with them earlier in the season and lost to them in the tournament. So I think they figured out what they were going to do with them this time around. They were a little bit. It seemed like they were a little bit more aggressive in not letting Tyler Halliburton. I never said it's goddamn name. Halliburton get off like he did last game. So I think that was part of the key, slowing him down, not letting him get into a groove and letting him get everybody involved, which is still hard because even when he's not on fire, they're on fire. But shout out to the Celtics. They locked up. They played, especially toward that fourth quarter, toward the end. That's when they started to pull away because it was kind of close throughout the game, but they started pulling away towards the end. But mainly because of that defense and JB just being JB. When he's on fire, he's one of those just there ain't nothing you can do. Put your hand up. It don't matter what you do. He gonna hit it. So when he's on fire, he's on fire, and he just had one of those games.
You talking about JT?
For sure.
I kept saying
Jones?
JB, JT. Sorry.
JT. Okay, got it.
Yes, for sure. Nat, what's your takeaways for the Celtics victory against the Pacers? And then just talk about just the duo of Tatum and Brown. If they score over 25, 30 plus points a game, that's just dangerous already for them to score that high. And then also a high possibility of them winning games too, as well as the tandem. So what's your takeaways against the Pacers?
So the Pacers are a very good offensive team led by Halliburton, who's hell of a point guard. If you watched him in Sacramento, you knew that he was good, and you knew that he just needed his team, to showcase his talent and his ability. I guess people call him the new CP3. I like him better than CP3. You'll never get much, praise with me when it comes to CP3, ever. But Tyrese Halliburton is a very good point guard. He's only going to get better as well. I know y'all see y'all laughing. But he's going to get better, but none of them had it going this game in Indiana. It was just a terrible game for all of them. If you just go down 17, 6, and 7 with 5 steals from Halliburton, I did like that, but he was a negative 14, 5 of 17, from the field. He missed 7 threes and shot 9 of them. So he was 2 of 9 from the three. Aaron Nesmith, 0 of 7, 0 of 5 from Miles Turner, 3 of 10 for Buddy Hield. They were shooting up threes, were not making them. It was a terrible game, for them. They were not going to win this game. You could just clearly see, all Boston had to do was just put the hammer down and say, all right, we're going to play our game now. And they did, then JT, when JT has those games where he's shooting efficiently from 3 and he's shooting over 10 threes and he's making 50% of them or more, he's getting close to 40, 50 points.
Every time.
Touch it or it's getting real close. In this game, he had 38, 13, and 6. So he was 8 of 13 from 3, only 4 free throws, and he only made 2 of them. This was not a free throw game for him, and he was 14 of 23 from the field in general, and he was a plus 19, second highest to, Derek White. Derek White wasn't really needed, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Drew Holiday, 8 and 6 and 5. And then Jaylen Brown, 31, he bounced back more in this one, 31, 4 and 1. He was scoring in this one. He was 13 of 20, so he was getting shots up. They have to get their shots up. And this is also a game where KP only played 6 minutes. He got knocked in the eye. Aaron Nesmith does something every damn game versus Boston where he's hitting somebody, because he's really upset, that he's in Indiana. He didn't want to go, so he wanted to stay in Boston. He couldn't. So I get it. He's really pissed off. Someone hurt every game from Aaron Nesmith. He's got to calm down, But yeah, this was a great game. Another game they should win. I'm going to continue to say it. They should have won this game. And 118 to 101 and won by 17. So great game. All around. Also,
shout out to Aaron Nesmith.
I do want to say really quick, shout out to Al Horford. I forgot to say him as well. He was off the bench with 10, 7, and 8. That is excellent numbers for your veteran big off the bench. So his efforts do not go unnoticed. So a lot of what they're doing and the wins that they have, you have got to give credit and love to Al Horford.
Absolutely.
Could we see Al Horford in the 6th Man of the Year category by the end of the season?
You will not.
Yeah, they won't do it.
You will not. He's not that kind of player. What he does is just a veteran presence, and he's a utility guy. 6th Man of the Year goes to that high-powered guy who can be a starter, but he's just on the bench. You're looking at a Malik Monk, that kind of guy. That's a 6th man, somebody that can come in and give you 20, and just change the pace. You're like, damn, he could start, but he doesn't. So Al is good where he's at, but yeah, that's for somebody else.
Gotcha. I just wanted to ask right there. Shout out to Al Horford. Definitely shout out to Aaron Nesmith for doing that poster dunk on Derrick White. Unfortunately, he had 8 points. So great poster dunk for Aaron Nesmith and all that. So it's good.
Like
it's good. Okay, it's good. But I do. He's feisty. He's feisty. I like him, but gotta calm down though. I mean, he's in Indiana. He gotta calm down. But it is what it is, though. So he probably is. And then we got to get Nat kind of just wound up one day with Chris Paul in a Celtics uniform at the end of his career. I can't wait to love that. I can't wait to see Nat's face. Oh,
she'd love that.
Oh, she would. Oh, she would love it. She would love it. So the next set of games for the Boston Celtics, they have the Indiana Pacers again after Pacers. Then they go to they be back at home. They go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then they have to go out this Thursday at the Milwaukee Bucks, which I can't wait for. And then on this Saturday, they have the Houston Rockets back at home. Jones, I'll start with you. Which game are you looking forward to? And what do you see what's the expectation for the Celtics the next couple games?
So you said they got Pacers tonight, Timberwolves, Bucks, and then Houston
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep.
The one that's most interesting to me is the Timberwolves game because the Timberwolves are for real. They're for real. Now, I most would think I would say the Bucks. If you guys know, watch me and that. I've been riding with the Bucks, but I might just have to jump off that train. I might have to just jump off that train. They ain't looking. They second in the East, but it's not a pretty sight the way they win in these games. It's because it's the East. It's a weak East, kinda, and they ain't playing no damn defense. They ain't winning. They're not winning nothing with that defense. And Giannis literally have to doing everything for that team. So I would go with the Timberwolves game being the most interesting because the Timberwolves are serious. They're playing real good basketball. Everybody's playing good. Looks like they got great chemistry. Edwards is doing his thing. The two bigs is doing their thing. What the heck is his name? Cat is out there proving to people that not only is he one of the best shooting big men, but he's getting down there on the block and punishing guys as well and getting boards and stuff. So I like that. I think that's a good matchup. You guys definitely played before, and I want to say the Timberwolves won. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they won.
They won, right?
They
so
did.
yeah, that I I think that's going to be where's this one at? Is this in Boston or
home? Is
home? Okay, so I'll give Boston the edge because it's home. But if it was in Minnesota, I think I might give the Minnesota Timberwolves the edge. So I think another tricky one I'll say is the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets is a tricky team. Not saying that y'all won't beat them. Y'all not the better team. But Houston Rockets have been giving every good team work. Like everybody. They show up to every game. They don't win them all, but they show up. I really like this Houston Rockets team right now. I think that's a sneaky game to watch out. You probably win that game, but that's a game to watch out for.
Yeah, when it comes to
I like that.
When it comes to this week in these slated games, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks are ass.
I knew she was going to.
We have to at some point be honest about that. They're absolutely ass. It's not a good team. I don't give a damn how much everyone loves Giannis. The team is ass. They can't stop a parked car. They're fraudulent, and everyone knows this. They are absolute crackety ass fucking bad collectively. You will win a lot of games with Giannis. You're absolutely going to win a lot of games with Giannis. He is phenomenal. You're going to win a lot of games. But there are some games, like, let's take a good damn look at tonight, right? Look at that. They caught back up. They were down 30 points to the Utah Jazz tonight. Dang. And now they're only down 8. So that means they are trying their damnedest
Giannis
to catch up to
crazy.
the fucking Jazz.
Yeah, it's
they are trying their damnedest to catch up to Utah. And they were at home down 30. You guys got to get off that damn train, man. I don't know what's wrong with you, but Chris Middleton's been playing, and it hasn't mattered.
Not at all.
Damian Lillard has been playing. It has not mattered. You know why? Because they forgot. The problem with that team wasn't Drew Holiday. It wasn't. It was the fact that Chris Middleton was not the same player from 2 and 3 years ago. So you get rid of your defensive presence to get a motherfucker that can't stop a pole.
Yep.
What sense did that make? Those threes were good, until they're not falling. And then you say, hey, Dame, can you stick defense? He's like, man, I ain't here for all of that. And then you wonder why the opposing point guard, has fucking 50. So the Milwaukee Bucks, I could care less about that game, all right? Because if Milwaukee wins, it means jack shit. It doesn't mean anything. And when they lose, and they probably will, who gives a shit? Because that they're not the problem for Boston. That is not their problem. They clearly told you who they're going to be. They're not going to play defense, and Giannis is going to have to do everything, which is what you guys said he wouldn't have to do when they got Dame. Lo and behold, he's doing everything, and he's killing himself. Chris Middleton has been okay. He has not been Chris Middleton of 3 years ago. Yeah. Brook Lopez, he has his moments. He is still 35, 36 years old.
Yep.
You can't lean on him. Jokes aside, they are in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay? And if they play the Miami Heat, again, I promise you they're going to lose. Yep. I cannot express to you how I know they're going to lose. I'm taking that bet. I want every Bucks fan to DM me so we can lock in that bet. Because I promise you, you're not winning that series. And if you play us, just sit the fuck down. Because we're gonna pick you up and drop you right on your head. You're not gonna win that either. Okay, so that Bucks game I could less about. Now, moving on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's a game that I like. I really like the Minnesota Timberwolves. I've liked them for years. Why? Because I'm a Cat fan. I've been a Cat fan for a long time since he's been in the league. I think he's a joy to watch. When he calms down and he plays smart, he is fun because big men can't move like that. A lot of big men can't. what he does is special. I don't want that to get lost in his emotion. What he does is still special. He just has to calm down sometimes. But when it comes to the Timberwolves, they're getting it. It's clicking. Rudy Gobert, it was a great trade. That's what you're seeing.
Finally.
Sometimes it's time to get going and for people to get acclimated to each other. And that's what you're seeing. Anthony Edwards is ascending. Rudy Gobert is a hell of a defensive player, and Cat is a hell of a big man. And that's just seeing. And it's a wonderful thing to see with Minnesota because they deserve that success. And I really hope they continue to have a high seed because they deserve it. Yep. No more 7 seed, 8 seed. Please get yourselves top 4 so you can have home court advantage, and have something to look forward to. When the Boston Celtics play them, they have to attack Cat as much as I love him. You have to attack Anthony Towns. Much as I love his strengths, I understand that man's weaknesses. You have to attack him because he'll jump and bite at everything. That is who he is naturally. He is going to continue to try to block everything, body you up. Sometimes his body doesn't get square enough where it should with someone, and 9 times out of 10, you will get that call. They did not attack Cat enough in that game, and I couldn't understand that because it's kind of like barbecue chicken when he's out there, play under control, no crazy shots, stop leaving people open for 3. That game specifically, Jaylen Brown was leaving, I forgot his name, but he's a good, McDaniels, I think.
McDaniels, yeah.
Jaden McDaniels.
Yes, he left him open for 3 multiple times. And honestly, that really killed it for them because he was going to help when he didn't need to. Stay home on your guys. And this should be a fun game, but Boston should win by at least 6 to 8. That's how I see it.
I wish mic drop right there. Recording about the Bucks right there. I can't even go after this one right here. But I was just like ready for it. She called out the equipment manager. She had called out everybody, even the popcorn lady over there. So, but so the Timberwolves is the game I'm definitely looking forward to as well. Like I expect Boston to play a lot better. I know Anthony Edwards is that dude, and he's really good. He's going to get his points. Do not let Jaden McDaniels get 20-plus points like Nat said.
Ridiculous.
Please attack Anthony Towns at all times. Like, it's so ridiculous. And then against the Bucks, I mean, that should be an easy game right there for the Boston Celtics to keep bringing that statement against the Bucks. And then against the Houston Rockets, Jones, you said they're a very sneaky team. They are a very sneaky team with Flair VanVleet, Jalen Green, and Dylan Brooks and all of them. I know Sengun should be in the All-Star results. He is so good. He is so good. But I think Boston will beat them probably by a couple points and all that. Now, if I will put a bet on which game that they probably could lose to, possibly Minnesota though. But like I said, like we don't really know exactly how they're gonna go because, like I said, Boston could play to the level of their competition at some points in the game. The third quarter is always a lot messy for Boston. They play great the first half. Third quarter, it goes to complete shit, and they have to readjust themselves in the fourth quarter out of nowhere. So we'll just have to wait and see. We got to do a better job of controlling the ball because we had like 10-plus turnovers the past 3 games. That's not really good for Boston. I see them get like 8 to 9 turnovers total in a game. So they just got to do a better job controlling the ball and everything. So, but Jones, we really appreciate you being a guest on Celtics Rewind. Where the people can find you at?
You guys can find me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok, at Jones NForSports. Just how I said it, Jones, possibly NForSports. And like I said, all platforms on social media. And thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, no problem at all. Like we invite every NBA fan to Celtics Rewind because we want to see if they actually are Celtic fans inside the closet and all that. Even though you're a Knicks fan, and also a LeBron fan and all that. We're going to be talking after the show about this. We need to change you to the green over here. So, yes, this is episode 11 of the Celtics Rewind. I'm JP, the franchise. She's Nat, the GM. That's Jones for Jones and for sports.
Yes.
And we'll see y'all later.
Yes.
Peace, y'all.